What's up, guys? Hello from the MLG studios here in New York City. My name is axeltoss. I am joined by axslav, and we are in the final of the MLG Winter Exhibition, the tournament involving the 16 losers from round 1 of the Winter Championship event. And we're finally down to our last 2 players, and this is the final day. So get on Twitter, get on Reddit, get on Team Liquid, tell people this is happening, because you do not want to miss this epic best of 5.
There's been a lot of amazing best of 5s here so far, which sticks out in my mind most of all. MarineKing versus Seed, and also Thorzane versus Creator. If you missed those games, catch them on YouTube. Today, though, is the grand finals of any best of 5. It's going to be amazing. It's got to be this one, because we have 2 heck of a players here in the final. I mean, MarineKing, we can see here, the only person MarineKing struggled with so far was Seed.
Yeah.
He went 3-0 versus Huck, 3-0 versus Bly. Seed, of course, he struggled with, but I mean, Seed's a former GSL champion, right? I mean, it's no shame to struggle a bit, and he did beat him, of course. On the other hand, herO has pretty much swiped through everyone. Yep. No problems at all, dropping a single map to Sase, winning 3-0 over Thorzane, who is, I mean, Thorzane was the guy who beat Creator, right? So amazing TVP there. It's going to be an amazing match. 2
of the premier players in Heart of the Storm right now, of course. MarineKing honestly needs no introduction. He was literally flown to an MLG event by Reddit. He has a huge fan base among the foreign fans. I hate saying that, but the point is he is well loved, well liked, and he has awesome sense of style. And he's a very handsome guy. And look at all those major tournament results. He's definitely not a stranger to getting far in tournaments. On the other side of things, herO, he's the kind of guy who's not going to have that many major tournament results. Most of his presence is in the Pro League over in Korea. That's probably one of the most prestigious team leagues, if not the most prestigious team leagues in the entire world, where he serves pretty much as the ace player for Team CJ Entus, has a ridiculous win rate over there in that league. And again, in that league, he's playing against the best players in the world, and we see right here highlighted his Terran and Zerg statistics are off the charts there. 67% against Terran, which of course is that statistics that is relevant right now, considering he's playing MarineKing.
It is. And in fact, that's even higher right now after winning 3-0 versus Thorzane. Of course, hasn't quite been updated yet. And that was a really impressive series that was played yesterday. A great set of matches, and here really showcased their just amazing fundamental skill sets. He never made any obvious mistakes here. But the question is can he keep his fundamentals and his development as he progresses to the mid-game that solid against an aggressive player like MarineKing?
Yeah, I mean, the story of yesterday's match, you can catch right now on youtube.com/official MLGSC2, was herO's just, I don't want to call it greediness, but the way he played was like, all right, I'm going to tech really fast. I'm going to get my mothership core out fairly quickly. I'm going to stay safe. And I'm just going to try to get those upgrades going, try to get my tech going, and try to get an advantage as we enter into the late game. MarineKing, of course, a very hyper-aggressive player. We saw him, I think he defeated someone with a proxy rack, so with like 1 or 2 Reapers. That was Bly. I think that was game 3 if you missed that. So, MarineKing has these builds in the early stages that are pretty much meant to abuse this type of style. From the Protoss, of course, yesterday, herO was playing against Thorzane. And Thorzane, historically, is always going to want to go to that late game. So perhaps there's a little bit of metagame there, but it should be interesting to see how MarineKing ends up reacting to this kind of playstyle from herO.
It's going to be very interesting. And you know what? Why don't we jump right into game number 1 and find out how the fireworks fly and who comes out on top and who ends up being down 0-1 after game number 1 on Cloud Kingdom.
The winner of this best of 5 will take home $1,000. Second place will take home $500. So these guys are both getting paid, but there's a difference between being the champion of the MLG Winter Exhibition and being second place. In the bottom left-hand location of Cloud Kingdom in this game number 1, we have the red Terran player representing Team Prime. He is MarineKing. Now, there's a lot of fans out there rooting for him to take home victory in this tournament. His opponent in the top right-hand location, perhaps a little bit lesser known, but definitely not any less talented than his opponent. Representing Team CJ Entus, he is herO. And this is like a clash of the top Pro League player, top Kespa Pro League player, against a top ESF player, which is one of those storylines that's been going back and forth lately. People are wondering, are the Pro League guys here to stay? Are they just going to completely surpass everyone else in the world, or are we going to have some of our better ESF players stand up to the challenge?
I mean, this is a really good example to take one more little tale or one more chapter in that storyline here, because we saw MarineKing's results. I mean, this guy, while currently he hasn't been, making the top 2s or top 4s in the GSL over the last season or two, historically, he's always been top 1 or 2 in pretty much every tournament he's played in, an insanely fierce competitor. And what really characterizes him more so than anything else is his marine control, and of course, that's a skill set that really applies to every single matchup as a Terran player. Marines are great in all 3 matchups.
Indeed. Of course, his name is MarineKing, so that makes a little bit of sense. We're going to see him trying to build an early command center on the low ground here, trying to prevent that from happening, sending that probe, being a little bit annoying, but this shouldn't be too much of a problem. However, MarineKing losing a little bit of mining time from these SCVs, but not going to be a gigantic deal considering how fast he's getting this command center. What I'm interested in is how herO reacts to this. Does he just not mine any gas and take a Nexus? Does he continue as planned? No, it looks like he is going to send that probe to the low ground to make that Nexus. Of course, does not want to fall behind economically here in the early game.
Definitely does not want to. It's always a big choice to make when you're a Protoss player. You got your opponent going command center versus how do you react? Do you try to put on pressure? Do you delay your expansion, do that? Or do you say, you know what? Against a player like MarineKing, if I try to, chrono boost out a unit early, he's just going to defend anyway without a problem. So it's best off for me to just skip the gateway unit, go straight for my Nexus, so I'm not really behind at all in the economic game.
See herO still being annoying with this probe, hasn't lost a single hit point. Of course, losing shields is just fine as Protoss. That does eventually come back. You don't want to lose that green health, though, because that does not come back. And herO being very annoying indeed. 2 SCVs getting about 70% health, but MarineKing's going to be just fine. More importantly here, herO just maintaining his presence on his opponent's side of the map with that probe, making sure he has an idea of exactly what's going on. There's going to be 2 barracks in the main base here from MarineKing, a fairly safe transition. Has yet to add on additional gases. Look out for those soon, though. And meanwhile, it looks like herO adding on 2 gases of his own. His Nexus is already complete. Probably going to build a Stalker here out of this gateway fairly soon, so he can get that early map control. But for now, just getting a Mothership Core, which is something we've seen. So maybe he'll just skip the gateway unit. No, as I say that, going straight for that sentry, exactly what he did yesterday.
Definitely wants to get those sentries and the Mothership Core early, and the reason why he gets the units to have energy early is because over time they'll build up more energy and become more and more effective. Of course, this early in the game, especially against Command Center first, he doesn't need any unit right now. Right, he needs units later on, and if you're gonna be, but you want to get something now so that he can start building up their army for later on. You always want to get those energy units before the rest of your units so they can start building up that energy. Wow, MarineKing, 4 barracks.
What
before
is he up to?
5 barracks before gas.
What?
6 barracks before gas. What is he doing?
Do you know his name? Do you know the name of our Terran player?
He is the MarineKing, but
he's only going to Marines, man.
This is madness. You know what this is? This is serious metagaming right here. This is the build that actually doesn't work if it's scouted. Your opponent just gets extra gateways, they current boost sentries, with force field, they're fine. But what he's going to do here is every Protoss relies on the fact that Terran can't be aggressive because of Photon Overcharge. MarineKing's going to say, you know what?
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. I'm just going to get so many Marines, it doesn't even matter. And if you're trying to cut these corners, he could be punished for this. I don't know if it's going to work, though. Photon Overcharge is so good.
It is pretty good. I mean, in theory, I guess you could try to run past it, go to the main, but
Force Field will stop that.
Force Field can stop that, and
he's going to pull SCVs to tank is what he's going to do. He's definitely going to pull SCVs, and this is going to be... if he doesn't pull SCVs, I mean...
He's going to have 3rd command center, which is interesting.
Wow. Maybe he's just going to... You know what he's going to do? Okay, I've got it.
All right.
He's not going to pull SCVs. 3rd command center, he's not going to. What it means, he's going to run in there. He's going to try to kill as many probes as he can.
Yeah.
And
losing a few Marines, he's going to consider it worth it. I mean, he's just now adding on his gases, so he has intentions to transition. But we see, meanwhile, herO adding on a War Prism. He has 2 sentries on the way, getting that robotics bait in 2
War Prism's not good at beating Marines, though.
It isn't.
One-on-one, a Marine beats about 500 War Prisms.
Oh, man. I think it's 501, but
okay,
close enough.
Close enough.
All right.
He does have plenty of force fields. If he uses these well, I think he will be okay, but Oh, he's going to be down to the micro. Is he going to do it just right?
There's the photon overcharge.
Oh,
Force
no!
field's going
He
down.
misses the force fields.
They're missing. The Marines going straight for that natural expansion, trying to zone in on those probes. Militia Corps coming forward, trying to get those shots off from above. There's another force field in the middle line. He's just targeting down the Nexus. Now he's moving those shots to those probes. Here, losing so much here. Photon overcharge just not going to be enough to DPS down these Marines in time before losing so much of that economy. MarineKing is up 65 to 46. The Nexus getting targeted down. It's at 300 HP, 200 HP, 100 HP, and staying alive for now, but MarineKing trying to take it down, and it does end up falling. MarineKing taking down so many probes, taking down the Nexus, all at a cost of 1,400 minerals worth of Marines, and herO saying, you know what, that's too much. I'll see you in game 2, good sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
Well played. That was I mean, I think why it worked is herO was so surprised.
Yeah.
Like, if herO knew the Marines are crossing the map, he would have been waiting to hit the right. If he hits the 3 force fields well, lets about 6 to 7 Marines through.
Yeah.
Those 6 to 7 will die without killing anything because he can just pull the sentry back that's being focused down. Photon overcharge takes him out. But he got 2 force fields down. The first 2 were perfect, but he needed that third one to finish it off, and you missed that. Oh, man. That's rough.
It's tough. I mean, it literally costed him the game. Now, you know, behind this herO was pretty much being he was playing exactly how we were discussing before the game started. It's like just going for this really greedy play, kind of relying on that photon overcharge. And we can see, we just saw right there a build from MarineKing that pretty much perfectly exploits that. Exploits a player who very greedy, going for hyper into tech, and then makes one little mistake, like missing a force field, and then you're definitely going to pay for it. It happened there. MarineKing not only able to get a lot of probe kills, but able to take down Nexus, and from there, there honestly is not going to be any coming back.
There's 3 command center. I mean, it's true that he could have built a Colossus, and a Warp Prism and a Colossus, you could run around, and because MarineKing has no stim, doesn't even start the factory yet. You could do a lot of damage, but the problem is you could literally kill all his SCVs, and 3 mules alone will do more than your 1 base. So not enough to make it come back that game. And he took the, just said, you know what, GG out. Let's go into game number 2. Yeah. And I would be extremely shocked to see MarineKing do that same build anytime in the next 3 weeks.
We'll see.
It's like a once a month build.
The next time I'm going to see that build, you know when it's going to be?
On ladder?
Yeah. When we're done here, I'm going to go play some ladder. I'm going to run to a Terran who's going to do that to me. I'm looking forward to it already. Of course, congratulations to MarineKing there for winning game number 1. But this is a best of 5, so there's still a ways to go. Again, the winner of this best of 5 takes home $1,000. The second place gets $500. Guys, stay tuned. Game 2 between MarineKing and herO coming up.